Hey guys, First Regardsman here, and today I'll be talking about a heavy bolter build for both Operations and Siege mode in patch 8.0 of Space Marine 2. Now, the heavy bolter is a ton of fun to play. It is also pretty damn effective. It is outclassed by both the heavy plasma incinerator and multi-melta, mainly because the AoE potential of these guns is significantly higher than the heavy bolter, and in a mode like Siege mode where there's just a ton of enemies on your screen at any given time, AoE is always going to be king, and the only thing the heavy bolter has that's close to that is a penetration value of 4 to shoot through Minoris hordes and multiple Majoris, and that is simply harder to pull off than shooting like one charged plasma shot. Now, the heavy bolter has unfortunately like one good variant, and that is the accuracy variant. The way accuracy works in Space Marine 2 is that it tightens your spread and lowers your recoil, so this really enables the heavy bolter to shoot at long range and headshot guys from across the screen, and unfortunately in Space Marine 2, headshots are like the only thing that does damage with bolters in this game because headshot multipliers are that important, so the accuracy variant is simply the best overall, and really these other three need a significant buff. And as for our weapon perk tree on the heavy bolter, I have decided to take the perk fast venting first. Weapons cool 15% faster to go into the perk tree here for perfect cooling. After a perfectly timed dodge, the equipped weapon is completely cooled. The reason this perk is pretty good is because if we are overheated on the heavy bolter, this is our main form contested health regen, and we are kind of left out to dry in that scenario, and getting a perfect dodge can actually save your life. It doesn't come up that often, but when it does, it's pretty damn good. And the melee damage increase from low ammo reserves here is pretty terrible. Melee damage on the heavy in general is quite awful, and really you're only going to be stomping Minoras for the most part, and that's to set up a gun strike. So I don't really rank this perk that highly. Next perk here is increased capacity. The maximum ammo reserve of this weapon increases by 20%. Pretty self-explanatory. Same thing here with Headhunter for headshot damage. Very easy to just get free damage off. And I do not take the perk Perpetual Penetration because we already have a piercing value of 4, which is more than enough for like any Majoris and Minoris Swarmer to come across. It's kind of like a wasted mastery point. And then I go up here for the God tier perk, Heavy Immunity. While in heavy stance, you do not lose control from heavy hits. Pretty much amazing because it saves your life from the things that would stun lock you in this game, and if you're getting stun locked, that's awful, so this prevents that. And really, knockback perks in this game are all top tier, and the only time you don't take this is if you have the perk Strategic Stand, because it does the exact same thing. Now, the next perk we take is Adamant Restoration. This one gives you ammo back on low HP triggers, and overall, it's really only useful in the operations for the most part, because in Siege mode, ammo is super easy to come across with your perk Auxiliary Reload on the later waves for all the Extremis enemies, but it can still trigger sometimes, and you know, ammo is ammo, and ammo is kind of like the fundamental need of this class, so definitely a good perk. If you want to take Headhunter instead, or excuse me, Adamant Hunter, you can. The headshot damage here is quite good. It's just that it only triggers on the 30% HP threshold, and that's kind of hard to get off, especially if you have a Vanguard in your team with Unmatched Zeal, which a lot of people are taking into Siege mode currently, so it might be impossible for you as a heavy to ever trigger this perk if there's a Vanguard on your team, which is why I just take Adamant Restoration instead. Now, the next perk I take is Heavy Might for 15% more damage in heavy stance. Now, these perks are exactly the same, and they are both very boring designs, but you know, 30% more damage is huge while in heavy stance, so we just guarantee take these, pretty much mandatory in my opinion. And then I move into Discipline. When you have low ammo, you deal 25% more damage. This one is very easy to proc because you're always firing this gun, especially against like bosses, and free damage is free damage. And then I go into Fast Venting, and down here into Perpetual Cooling, and then we just take a flat 10% damage increase. Now, alternatively, you could go for an increased capacity in operations and straight into Terminus damage, or just go for spread. These are both options, and the melee perk down here, again, melee damage is just not very valuable on the heavy class whatsoever, and I just don't really value these highly at all. And as for our secondary, I've taken the Plasma Pistol because the Plasma Pistol overperforms in Siege mode. It has AoE gun strikes, and oftentimes on a parry gun strike, you will hit multiple Majoris packs, multiple Extremis, and even bosses at times, and just chunk enemies. Super valuable, amazing weapon, and super meta for that reason. And whatever benefit we'd be getting from a heavy bolt pistol for a headshot multiplier, we already get off our heavy bolter, so Plasma Pistol, pretty much a no-brainer, and I just take the magazine capacity variant variant of the plasma here, mainly because ammo is just king in this game, and whatever ammo you're saving on your secondary is like more requisition for you to use in siege mode, so we build it this way into efficient charge. Unfortunately, our last perk point's kind of a waste for perfect cooling, but what are you going to do? That's pretty much what you take for the secondary. And as for our perk selection here, we take restoration first for armor regeneration, mainly because armor regeneration in this game is really, really good while drip fed to us. And as for our heavy perks, we take restoration first. Killing 7 enemies in rapid succession restores 1 armor segment. Cooldown is 15 seconds. Now this perk is very valuable because armor, while drip fed to us, is super good since it reduces all melee damage to 0 no matter how much armor you have remaining, even from a boss. So a 15-second cooldown on this is awesome. Also has great perk synergy with conviction here, because usually by the time conviction runs out from an armor break, you'll have your restoration back to get armor back. You just cycle back into these. Great stuff here. So next perk we have is Fortitude. Health increases by 30%. Health is super valuable in Space Marine 2, prevents you from getting one shot. Also, your base damage reduction goes up the lower HP you have, so if you have a higher base total HP, your effective HP is that much more on those low HP levels. Amazing perk, pretty much always take this. You can take Thermal Boost or Strategic Stand if you want, but this one is by far the best. The next perk here is Overwhelming Power. When Iron Halo is active, all squad members within 10 meters deal 10% more range damage. This just gives us more damage and our squad mates more damage as a bonus if they're close to us. Really, this is like a no-brainer because versatility here is not that good, and the melee damage up here outright sucks. As for our team perk, we take Encompassing Aegis. All squad members take 25% less damage from range attacks. This is by far the best team perk on heavy. This combined with Conviction and Fortitude will prevent you from getting one shot in the later waves of the siege mode here, because like past wave 15 the enemies start to get like a damage boost and they do a truly ridiculous amount of damage, and this one will keep your teammates alive and you alive for a lot longer. And Bonds of Brotherhood might be like the most overrated perk in this game, because this perk just does not save you or function that much in this game at all. It's also saving your worst teammates the most, more so than your best teammates, like Encompassing Aegis. And if your teammates are dying so much that they need Bonds of Brotherhood to proc like 7 times, you're probably having bigger problems on your hands than them not coming back at full HP. They'll probably die anyways, is the unfortunate truth. And Encompassing Aegis is active at all times. Same thing with additional supplies. These two perks are just better than Bonds of Brotherhood. This perk is honestly kind of a noob trap. Next perk here is Consecutive Execution. Killing 7 enemies in rapid succession restores equipment charge. Cooldown is 90 seconds. Now, equipment charge is just meta in this game, especially for siege mode. 90-second melt-a-bombs are OP. This class is amazing to benefit from this, and really, if you have a tactical with secure stockpile as well, this is like 2 melt-a-bombs every 90 seconds. It's really just incredible. And overall, equipment recharge is just the way to go. These other 2 perks don't even come close. Next perk here is Obdurate Bastion. Iron Halo's durability increases by 20%. This perk is incredible for siege mode, mainly because you're shot by so much stuff that sometimes you need that durability increase, especially versus triple Hellbrutes. If they are all shooting you down a corridor, this perk is incredible. If I am playing in operations, I will take Field Adjustment. Iron Halo recharges 20% faster, but its durability is reduced by 25%. This doesn't really hurt you that much in operations because you're not shot as much, but Obdurate Bastion is far more valuable in siege mode in my experience, but you can pick both if you really want to. I value both of these over this perk here for an Iron Halo losing energy 20% more slowly, but it's really up to you. Next perk here is Brute Force. When Iron Halo is in cooldown, range damage increases by 15%. This is just a strict range damage buff for us that's proccing all the time, and is far better than these 2 perks, especially Saving Grace. A lot of the revive perks in this game are awful, but overall, range damage increase is just goated for us. That's pretty much what we live off of. Next perk here is Offensive Capability. When active, Iron Halo deals damage over time to all enemies within 5 meters. This perk is incredible. It simply lets you move through cultists, spore mines, and bramble, destroy all of them, and not take damage. It lets you advance without worry as a heavy, incredible perk, super undervalued for a long time in this game. It is better than Conversion Field, but Conversion Field is still good, and this perk here is donkey ass. This is the best way to put it. Coolant Reserve is trash. Probably like the worst perk in this whole tree. Next perk selection here for the prestige perks is Reverberating Impact. Stomp area of effect radius increases by 50%. This is great for Minor's killing. Really more useful in operations, but still sometimes it comes up in the early waves of siege mode, mainly because in siege mode you don't stomp that much because you're too busy shooting and executing constantly. So like the time for stomping is just not in the siege mode, to be honest, but still good perk for operations. Next perk here is God Tier Auxiliary Reload. Melee kills of Extremis level or higher enemies restores your primary weapon's ammo by 1 magazine. This perk is just infinite ammo on the higher waves of siege. There are so many Extremis that like you will just never run out of ammo if you're just like looping them with a plasma or heavy bolter in this build, and really Auxiliary Reload is just incredible. Next perk here is also God Tier Conviction. When your armor is fully depleted, you take 25% less health damage for 10 seconds. This will prevent you from getting one-shot by like Enraged Rubric Marine bursts and things like that in the higher waves of siege mode, especially when combined with your Fortitude perk and Encompassing Aegis. You become so tanky on this class with all those perk combinations that it's just a no-brainer to take this one. And like I said before, it cycles into Restoration. Last perk I take here is Indomitable Spirit. While performing a gun strike, you do not lose control upon taking heavy hits, and you cannot be knocked back. This perk is also incredible because it lets you gun strike where you otherwise would be unable to against lictors, raveners, stuff like that. It prevents you from getting knocked back by a Biovore face check when you have a gun strike active. Simply gives you more options. If you don't know when to take a gun strike, it might get you killed at times. That's really more of a skill issue than anything else, because it's not the perk's fault that like you decide to shoot in a gun strike where you shouldn't have. But overall, the gun strikes, whatever gun strikes you'd be taking that might kill you with this perk would also kill you if you're not using this perk. Probably kill you even faster because you just get locked down by a stun lock. So Indomitable Spirit, amazing perk. It just gives you more options. And a lot of people like Duelist, Perfect Parry, and Perfect Block windows increased by 25%. I think this is a bit of a misunderstanding here, because I had the same misunderstanding that this does not increase the parry window startup frames for your balanced weapon here, because the Heavy has a balanced parry window, which means he has a negative 10 frame startup. So during the first 10 frames of your parry, you cannot perfect parry. Duelist does nothing to benefit that, and then you have a 30 active frame parry window, and that's when Duelist starts to work. So really, for this to actually do anything for you, you would have to catch an enemy on like the very, very final portion of your parry window, and that doesn't happen very often at all in this game. It can sometimes, like maybe like single digit throughout like a 2-hour match. Not that valuable. Same thing here with like Home Precision. This perk is pretty trash, and Exponential Force melee damage is pretty useless for us overall. So that's why we take these 4. So that's everything I have to say about the actual build and perk selection, and now it's time to get into the actual operation gameplay. Alright, here we are in game versus the Thousand Suns on Obelisk. Now, I decided to take this to Obelisk because I haven't played a Chaos mission in a little bit. And I figured this would be a good time, because Heavy Bolter is quite strong versus Chaos as well as Tyranid is. Speaking of things that are strong. Now, these guys are quite hard, because now they dump these Extremis at you too. Oh, I gotta go to that. So if we remove him first, that'd be good for us. I'm pretty sure he felt that. So I'll grab him. Back over here.
Enhanced tactic ready. Engaging elite countermeasures. Iron Hail ready.
Try to charge shut off on that. I'll do them both here. And then we'll just shoot them with our plasma pistol. Try to save our ammo as best we can.
Intercepting projectiles.
So these guys only have a 33% HP buff now. It's not as bad as it used to be. Like in the PTS, it was like 66% on the normal boss, which is a little bit high for a lot of players. When he gets to 50% HP, he will drop out more guys. And I will say, Hell Brutes are by far the hardest boss to fight with Extremis around them. It is brutal. There's definitely a Rubric Marine over here shooting at me. Yeah, Enraged, that's why the damage is so high. Get a headshot off of him. Alright, we'll grab our grab our execute if we can. Got perfect dodge that, or not. Okay, we have the Fortitude perk here. So you are quite tanky. Very easy to sit like this low Dodge a sniper shot. Oh, I have room here? Okay, I definitely do. Alright, let's head back over here. So this is where adamant restoration comes in handy. Thank you. That wasn't too bad. That's one Hellbrute out of the way. So it'll probably send two at us. And this map doesn't have too many boss spawns, so we might get it like right down the road.
1,000 suns combatants.
Because most of the boss spawns in this map are like up on the bridge and like right here. I'm gonna try this ammo box.
Ammunition restocked. Enhanced tactic ready.
I kind of want to check for a box if I can. I won't lie, guys. I don't like fighting chaos, even with like builds that are strong for it, because it's just not very. I don't think like the 1,000 Suns are just not that fun in this game. That's not even a hot take. I think like 99% of players prefer Tyranids because they just fit the combat loop of the game a lot more. Range spam. There's not a lot of counterplay to it except dodge shot and shoot back. In melee, there's a ton of stuff like parry, perfect dodge.
Fortunate.
On top of your range attacks, top of your melee hits, melee combos. None of that really works against chaos, so they're very unfun. They also have no feedback. Like shooting 1,000 Suns at Dust Mummy doesn't feel very satisfying.
This route is inefficient. Cut off its core parade. Now. Enemy eliminated.
Alright, that's him. There's a guard like spawn here, but not today. Okay.
Iron Halo ready. That tomb has a suitable
I will
path
say
for
the
our
spawns on the
advance.
official True Solo they've added have been pretty bad. I mentioned this in a couple of videos now. The modded spawns for the increased spawns, I should say, the increased mod spawns are far harder. But the boss spawns in this are brutal. That's the hardest part by far. Alright, triple extremis spawn. As long as we don't get ourselves stuck in like a
Throwing frag grenade.
we gotta interrupt that if we can.
Throwing fragmentation grenade.
That should hit both. No, I didn't hit any of them. How unfortunate. Very toxic gameplay. Thank God the encompassing Aegis keeps us alive here. We are very tanky after all. Now we can finally fire back. What an unfun enemy to fight. Oh my god, even like when we kill him, we take no HP. Doesn't feel good, you know, I'm not satisfied. I don't have like a fulfilling moment of gameplay. It's more like a thank God that's over. Yeah, let's move on.
Iron Halo ready. Up to 1,000 Suns assault.
Alright, horde coming. I believe there's a guardian relic like over here or something. It's been a while since I played this map. We'll see. We do have a stim, so I'm not too worried.
Iron Halo protocol in progress. Son of Magnus, terminated. Focus, Zangor Spearman. Enhanced tactics ready. Intercepting projectiles. Fragmentation device in play.
Whoops. Okay, what's this? Ship and execute. Get our armor back here.
Heresy quotient reduced. Iron Halo ready.
On with this dude. I know we're low HP, but it's really not as bad as it looks because of all of our damage reduction from the build.
Cultist pacified. Heresy contained.
It's all these machine gunner Rubric Marines. These guys are kind of irritating.
Iron Halo online. Execute Iron Halo tactics. Enhanced tactic ready.
Alright, there we go. How annoying. When the Rubric Marines are like equally spread out. Not very entertaining.
High-ranking chaos target eliminated.
But they're equidistant from each other. Not fun. Let's alright. Crack grenade, that is better for us.
Iron Halo
At
ready.
least better than the normal frags. And then we'll take an ammo box here.
Refilling magazines.
And then we'll head on down. And hopefully breeze through this.
Victory for the Imperium logged. Human corruption undermines
Do I
the
want that?
purpose
I
of
don't
this
think so.
place. The foulness infects this darkness. Bring that relic. Denser than
Alright, this
expected.
portion looks worse than it actually is because you do get HP back off of this little relic thing while you're carrying it. Just by yourself.
The relic is with me. We are closing in on the objective.
You do kind of have to like
Make haste. The enemy seeks to disrupt the battlefield.
play around as though it's not very fun. Okay, that's a common theme in this run, not very fun. I wonder why that is. Let's talk to these guys. I just want to get through here before there's a horde. If there's a horde, I might be in for a world of hurt.
I have taken possession of the relic.
This is why we saved our stim. Now there is a... Alright, that's a horde.
Enhanced tactic ready.
We'll fight him here.
The Zangor Spearman. Nullify the battle before it rallies more enemies. Thousand suns.
There we go.
Determined.
Grab this one too.
Corrupted enemy extinguished. Utilizing crack explosion. Iron Halo online.
we go. Just one. It's gonna give me 3 this time.
Corrupted power up. Oppression grows in my mind.
Let's move on.
I refuse to fall to this pollution.
Now there should be a Guardian Relic spawn in here somewhere. We might not need it, but I prefer to have it since there's a lot that can go wrong. Kind of a wasting area, waste of ammo for me here. Just gotta move on through.
Ready for next encounter.
Gotta speed run that part because there's really no way you can even execute them over there. Now, this map spawn does suck at Donkey Kong Bongo Cheeks, but we should be fine. Probably Guardian Relic spawn up here too, somewhere. Yeah, there it is. All right, a lot better in this mission now.
Interference from the dark.
This portion is it is asked by yourself, but once we're past here, the whole bridge portion will be a lot easier. Because like either you have to deal with like the absurdly long time period of the spinning islands, or it gives you this portion.
Relic in place. Reactivate the consoles.
It's pretty good spawn.
Transmission requires user oversight.
I have found a console to awaken.
Interrupted. The tactical console is
Behind weaponized saucer.
Oh, that's close.
Limiting target before it summons reinforcements.
You even hit my button there. You saw my animation go.
Avoid heretic countermeasures. Enhanced tactic ready.
Alright, we're blown up by that giant portal here.
Aberrant mutant destroyed.
Source for there. We have a crack grenade though, so that's quite easy to deal with. And he'll give us back some armor.
Crack grenade in play. Iron Hazel online. Hostile warfield pacified.
Kill this enraged guy. Stand still. Alright. Thank you.
Iron Halo protocol in progress. Codex compliant. Confirmed. Mutant killed. The relic must remain with the altar while we work. Enhanced tactic ready.
Oh wait, what the fuck am I doing?
Awakening this
Put that back down.
Transmission interrupted. The tactical console is out.
That could have gone a lot worse.
Relic is
Like
set.
all the Zangor
Proceed to
spawns,
consoles.
they do suck. There is a ammo crate in the middle though, so I kind of free just waste ammo if I want to. I'm just gonna sit in this, feel like I get my armor back in a second. Alright, thank God it's over.
Interaction with the tactical console active. Sanctification in process.
Let's go.
The relic must
Oh,
remain
let's
with the
go
Elder
right
on
here
board.
because
Return to the liturgical console to complete reactivation.
siege mode's up. Maybe better at fighting these guys.
Successfully deployed.
There we go.
Iron Haven online.
Communication with the liturgical console will resume when Minister approaches.
The faster we go down this, I think it is. Let's go down here.
Awakening this console.
I mean, we are really hurting for ammo because of the 2 extremis spawns.
Communion interrupted. Liturgical console is out of range.
I have found a console to awaken.
Interaction with liturgical console terminated.
Alright,
Minister
back
has
in.
left the area.
This part sucks so much. Alright, one more should do it. And we are
Awakening this console.
good.
Transmission interrupted. Liturgical console.
Alright, the most irritating portion of this whole mission is over.
initiated.
Now, we might have one more boss spawn, and once that's done, we should be smooth sailing.
All liturgical consoles have been restored. Obstruction has been cleared.
Okay, after I kill all these guys, we'll be smooth sailing.
We are free to resume
I'm just gonna
our
fight them
mission.
here.
We are
in the
not
holy
free of
circle.
the tomb and its corrupt darkness. We still have need of the relic. Cultist pacified. Heresy contained. Sovereignty lost. Enhanced tactics ready. Engaging elite countermeasures.
Here we go.
Son of man, I am able ready. Intercepting projectiles. Iron Halo online.
Alright, perfect. Now we'll take the crack grenade and we'll dip out of here before a extremis comes along. Because in the operations mode, not in siege mode, there is a min and max cooldown between extremis and waves and things like that. In siege mode, it's all set. Okay, let's push on through. See what we get down here. A bunch of dudes. I'm just gonna crack these
Deploying
guys.
crack grenade. Thousand Suns tactical dreadnought target is encountered. Heresy quotient reduced. Target the Sanctuary Spear. Utilize bolt for enemy backup. Angor in. Iron Haven ready. Emergency operational.
I'll bet you felt that.
Arch enemy combatant sighted. Iron Haven online.
grab this. Then move out there. Probably gonna be a boss spawn. I'm a little afraid of that. I'm just gonna move through here, I think. Where like the full-on horde comes.
Eliminate target before it summons reinforcements. Enemy reinforcements incoming.
Like that. Alright, see ya. I can't be asked. I'll have to fight out here, but I'd rather that than fight them all in the darkness.
Darkness is behind us. We continue to the device. The battle continues. Advance to the device. Heretics approaching.
Right, I don't want to trigger the boss spawn up here if I don't have to, so fight them back here. Because I'm pretty sure this game has no chill when it comes to that, and it will just send them. Wow, getting caught. Thank God for that encompassing Aegis. Would have way more to us otherwise. Count through all these guys. Alright, it's time to do a little bit of a stomp.
Iron Halo ready. Intercepting projectiles. Cultist pacified. Heresy contained.
I would like to be able to grab this real quick if we can for ammo. Alright, I'm a little less worried now. My fear was I was going to run out of ammo entirely there and then be stuck trying to desperately get into the cache.
Iron Halo ready. Iron Halo protocol in progress.
It's our heavy immunity going off there.
Heresy quotient reduced.
Also, when we're this low HP, it is quite easy to just like routinely proc a conviction, then proc adamant restoration, and keep hitting our ammo back over and over and over. Because we're very tanky, but our HP is technically low. So hitting that 30% threshold is quite easy.
Engaging elite countermeasures. Cultist pacified. Heresy contained.
Okay, accomplish it into heavy stance there is what I should have done.
Iron Halo online.
That's a waste of my Iron Halo. I do wish you could deactivate the Iron Halo when you're in an execute. Okay, perfect. So far, so good. And we shouldn't need more than like one Guardian Relic for a boss fight, if we even get another one. Though I'm pretty sure that was the last boss fight trigger there, so it might only be one this game. I'm gonna save this prac to just blow up the sorcerer when we're done.
Nothing. You cannot stop the great changer of ways.
The altars control the land. The Emperor, our presence here, rotates these lands. Maintain
Now, I would
peace
prefer
by
like an easy, straight path.
Ground itself betrays you. I look
Where the fuck
forward
did he go?
to hearing your scream.
No, I find it funny in this map they gave it like a normal ass lesser sorcerer for this because like this is not guarding the obelisk is not a job for a normal bum sorcerer in this. It is just not. It's not something Siege would do. They don't have another enemy. They don't have like the greater guys. Because, like, lesser sorcerers in this, the best way to think about them is that they're the guys who are, like, just strong enough to not turn into dust mummies.
Stop the target from calling up fresh reserves.
They're not particularly strong.
Eliminate. Our presence here rotates these lands. Maintain position by this altar until the next is near. The distance is too far for us to cross. Revived abominations incoming. The island must move closer if we are to get the next altar is in position.
Alright, one rage guy down there.
Extermination target. Sorcerer.
Alright, ammo box. Take that.
Spearman terminated. Obtaining armaments.
Let's get that up here. Just kill him real quick though. There should be a straight shot over there now, since we had the other place earlier. So we're just gonna beeline it, hopefully kill all those eyeballs over there.
Additional enemies.
He was in rage, that's unfortunate. Alright, show me the eyeballs.
Bring down the shield. Revived abominations in attention.
Thank you.
Warp channeling objects present. The orbs power his shield. Focus attacks on them. Confirmed. Orb destruction has lowered the shield's integrity. More targets remain.
Alright, where's the other one? Is that it? Oh, your dick. Okay. Look at this guy. Alright, that was a perfect dodge. I'll take it.
Eyes of hidden. Pause the attack. Eliminate all 1,000 Sun's forces. Enhanced tactic ready. Orbs are visible. Focus fire.
Alright, one orb over there. Should have went 2 feet from me, that sounds good.
Intercepting projectiles. Hold attack. Wait for visible targets.
Alright, now to move in.
Not be stopped. We will not be overcome.
Oh, he didn't break through.
Stims administered.
Should have that a little earlier, but it's okay.
Eliminate the Rubicon.
It's the pillar here. So if he decides to actually do his thing, that'd be good for us.
Target the orbs.
Where are all the orbs? Right, this one. So first one should break him. It's 10%. I'm gonna grab my art.
Fire payload unlocked. The enemy is vulnerable. Purge the sorcerer.
And that's a wrap. Pretty sure I can just turn on my barrier. There's not much they can do.
We did not. Rotate
Perfect.
the obelisk replica. End
And
this
that's that.
battle.
Alright guys, that's the heavy bolter build versus chaos. It also functions pretty well against Tyranids. Obviously heavy plasma and multi-melt are better. But this is one of the best builds for, I mean, Heavy really struggles to have a bad build. Heavy bolt rifles probably is worse. Heavy bolter, pretty damn good. Here's what the stat spread was. That was my first true solo on the new patch for Chaos, I believe. At least in the live game. Let's see what we got there. Kind of happy we didn't get 2 boss spawns. That would have been pretty annoying. Might have used our Guardian Relic then, but helpers just suck. What can I say? Alright, let's move in. Let's see what we got. Almost 40,000 damage total. Pretty damn good. 500 is pretty high for Chaos, actually, on the operations. But that is all for this one, guys. If you like content like this, subscribe for more if you're still here in the video, and take it easy. Have a great day. Peace.